Welcome. This is our crafting session of session 5. And of course, you imagine your story by using your sewing skills. And I'd like to show a couple of things that we can create by using our sewing skills. We can create garments, as you can see this little robe over here, our blouses, our clothes that we wear, everyday wear, that's sewing. We can also use sewing to make little crafts. This is a dinosaur tail. It's got Velcro on there where you can put on around the child's waist, and we can pretend to be a dinosaur. Another type of sewing, we can do stuff for sports. Everybody knows what this is, especially in West Texas. Lacing is a type of sewing. And then we look over here, and then we have our baseball and our softball. And then let me take these out. You can't play baseball or softball without our glove. And it also has several different stitches and types of lacing, as you can see there. You can do the loop-de-loop, go around and round, or do crisscrosses. There's all kinds of things that we can do, or knots. We can't get away from using a very good knot. So the next thing I want to show you is the packet itself, and it's going to come with 2 smaller packages and a set of instructions. The first set of instructions is for learning how to lace a baseball. In the first little bag, you will get some yarn. Look at the color. What color is that? Red, because our baseballs are laced usually in red. And then a cardboard cutout for the baseball itself, and a piece of chenille stick or a pipe cleaner, depending on what you call it in your area. That is going to be our needle. That was the safest thing that I could think of to put in a packet as close to a needle without having anybody hurt themselves, and I think it worked out pretty good myself. So let me show you. Let me undo this. This chenille stick or pipe cleaner is going to be your needle. You get your yarn, and you're going to have one short end and of course the rest of it, and you're going to just put that, make a little loop, and just kind of squeeze it together, make it look like a needle. See how it's nice and straight like a needle? Okay. And what we're going to do, we're going to pretend that this is not here, but we're going to start from the back. And you have to be careful with the little holes, because you know this is something that we are just working gently. Be gentle with your items. And we pull and pull until we come to the end, and then we flip it over. And just like I did here, I don't know if you can tell with our camera, but you get a piece of tape. It doesn't have to be invisible tape. It can be masking tape, whatever you have available. Tape that end down and out of the way to the side, so that way it'll be stable on there. And then, okay, you go from the bottom or from the back in through the hole to the top out, and then you get your chenille stick and push it back down. And that's what we're going to do. Be gentle. Pull until it's a little bit taut, not too tight. And then you just keep, now you go from the bottom, find that hole, bring it up. There you go. And there you have your little lacing. You have to practice with your hand-eye coordination there. You can even count the loops that you're making, the holes that you're going through. And then when you're done and you lace all the way up to this top, you just cut across and do the same thing up the back and then over to the front until you finish lacing your baseball. And then when you get done, you can take you be proud of yourself that you're learning a new skill, but you can also take it out and do it again later. Practice, practice, practice. Okay? So that was the first set of instructions. Now the second one is going to be a little bit more work, but it has a beautiful result. It is called a patchwork quilting, sewing, craft, and activity. It's a long name. But what we're going to be doing is basically practicing our lacing, sewing skills, And this is what I came up with. Again, in this packet, let me take out the packet that's going to be in your big packet. You'll get some yarn. You'll get a pipe cleaner again to make your needle. And you're going to get some little squares. You get 4 of one color and then 5, of another. See that? And when you put them down, you're going to try to make yourself a pattern, that looks like this. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the other color, 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5 in the middle. Okay? And what I did on this one, you just line them up side by side. Just like in the baseball, you go go up, to the front, and be careful with that. Sometimes you'll have to squeeze that little part over. And of course, don't forget to tape your back. Now, I'm not going to tape mine. I'm just going to hold it with my hand. And then when you came up from the back, you go down from the front. And you've got to be gentle because this yarn does like to try to make a knot. But it'll be fun and it'll be very pretty to look at. And then continue. We're going to go from the back to the front. And then from the front to the back. And just give it a cute little tug there. Don't make it too tight because it does need room to, just not be all wadded up. And there again, you're going from the back to the front or to the top. And so on and so on. You just keep doing that. Be patient. Hold your fingers there and line up those little circles. And when you do that, let me put these back. Don't forget your pattern. Put it back how it goes. But then you should be able to come out with something. Look at that. That looks like this. This is what you're working on. Make one long row. And then when you finish over here at the end, you go ahead and tape it at the back, just like Miss Sarah did. Cut off your yarn and start over with this other side, keeping your pattern. And on this one, you will see, I'm going to move this needle aside because I don't need it. When you have a block that has a pattern, that's where you see how some of it is green and some of it is brown. You get to decide, do you want that black and green on the inside, or you can make something make it look totally different by flipping it all, these 4 out to the other side. And look how pretty that block is by using 2 different contrasting colors. And when you get this side sewed just like you did that one, then you get to work on the opposite sides. Let's put that over and look at this one. See how pretty that is? Miss Sarah decided to put her yellows on the inside so it looks like the sun is coming in and shining on that middle one. And you can do the opposite, make it go out the other side. Make it look like the light's coming out. And when you finish, all of these will be put together. And then ideally, this is just a craft, but ideally you'll want to be, if you're using material, you can do something like this. It's called a plain 9 patch. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the center ones, 2, 3, 4. The dark ones, they are 5, and here are the ones on the outer side. They're 5. And when you make a lot of these by sewing, you can eventually make something that looks like this. This would be a nice quilt top. You put your colors in there and then pick a either the dark or the light of those little blocks that are put together, and you make it all look like a beautiful quilt. I always get my patterns, or a lot of my patterns come from Marsha Holmes, Quilter's Cash. These are all for free, and she makes it look very easy. I have never had any trouble with her patterns. I do recommend that you get on your computer, Google it, and enjoy sewing. But for the younger generation or the younger kids, They can practice their hand-eye coordination and exploring colors. And then when you get brave enough, you can practice with material and make yourself a quilt. So, like I said earlier, this is the last session for the summer reading program. I hope that y'all enjoyed. We did the best that we could. We enjoyed, and we hope that you got something out of it and learned something new by using or going somewhere new by using your imagination. Thank you.